What's going on, Falcons fans? It's your boy Ivan here, back again with another 2021 offseason update. I just wanted to talk some free agency a little bit, but first, please take a second to subscribe if you're new. And everyone else, man, everyone, please take a second to hit that thumbs up button. And those likes go a long ways. I really appreciate your support. So with that said, let me get into the topic. With training camp coming to a start here, free agency is coming to a close. We have already had some speculation about signing a pass rusher or even potentially a secondary player to help us out on the defensive side of the ball, considering that we have somewhere around $9 million in cap space. That's with the cap going down this year. That's, obviously we got that space with trading Julio up there to Tennessee. He contributes to some of that dead cap that we have this year and next year, totaling somewhere in the ballpark about 22 million. That's 7 and some change this year, 15 some change next year. And I want to talk about the cap because we are looking at a projected cap around $210 million next year. An increase of around $35 million puts us at about 208 according to Over the Cap. According to Over the Cap, that puts us about $365,000 over the cap next year, and that's with 47 players under contract of the 51 that count towards the cap, meaning the next 4 players that are signed for next year are probably going to add to that negative cap space. What's that mean for guys like OZ or Jaden Graham at JTM, Christian Blake, Younghoe Koo? Those guys are all restricted free agents, but we also have unrestricted free agents like Matt Gano, Hayden Hurst, Adedrin Sanat. Dante Fowler is going to be unrestricted. Our long snapper Josh Harris is going to be an unrestricted free agent. Isaiah Oliver is a unrestricted free agent next year, and we need to know what he can do, whether or not he fits this scheme. I say that because I just don't see us signing another one of these marquee players when we're looking into cap issues next year, and we're looking at whether or not a lot of these young players fit the scheme that we're going to be using here in the coming years. I just don't see it making sense. It's not just for their growth. It's a matter of, like, yes, bringing in of one of these veterans will stunt the growth of some of these young guys potentially. Yes, because they will not get as much on-field experience that they would get if they, with the current roster. But on top of that, guys, we need to know if these guys fit the scheme. We need to know if we're gonna sign them. Essentially, that's what's most important here. That's what's most overlooked. I think when talking about potentially signing these free agents, we're not really considering that aspect. And on top of these 2022 free agents that we have on the roster, we have a lot of 2023 unrestricted free agents that are going to be due for contracts. We have Kaminsky, Allison, and Keith Smith, but we also have guys like McGarry and Lindstrom. Calvin Ridley is going to be due, as well as Grady Jarrett. Like, we need to sign these guys, extend them, and get some room in the cap so we can make some moves, because I'm not sure how it's all going to work out, but we do have three of those current starters are going to definitely be offered contracts. The jury is still out on whether McGarry is going to get a long-term contract here with the Falcons. We'll find out probably this season whether or not that's going to take place, because we did just draft a couple more offensive linemen this year. Obviously that is Jalen Mayfield and was that Drew Dahlman? I'm probably not getting that first name right. we have young offensive linemen that also do for the contracts. We need to know if they fit the system, because we have something like 15 offensive linemen going into camp. So we're gonna find out who those depth pieces may be, who the new starters may be, because they say everything is an open competition, but realistically we have probably we may end up with two new starters, maybe three, on the offensive line. So yeah, guys, it's gonna be a big deal. What happens here in camp? Hell, we may end up cutting some of these guys early. I don't know. It could happen. Just because they don't fit the scheme, and what's the point in continuing? They're taking up a spot when we can get someone else who potentially fits. It's going to be an interesting training camp. I think I will be definitely following along closely from out here on the West Coast. So I'm definitely relying on a lot of you local people, a lot of you local fans who post and comment and do all of that kind of stuff on other channels and other networks. So I just wanted to take a second to remind you guys to please subscribe and please leave a like. Don't forget to comment your thoughts on the topic, guys. Yeah, guys. I just don't see us signing any free agents. Vet minimum. That's it. That's all they get, because we can't afford to have any of these contracts count against us in the future when we need some of this cap space for next year. Because we're one of the 5 or 6 teams that is projected to be over that cap space next year. Yeah, so let's see what these young guys got, and let's hope for the best. Let's hope Dean Pease brings something out of them that we have not seen from our defense in forever. But don't forget to subscribe and please leave a like. Thanks for watching.